Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel and making it the best it can be.
Hey fantasy fans, it's Dan here at Treebeard Book Reviews, and today I'm going to be ranking Discworld covers. So you don't need to have read any Discworld books. This is mainly just looking at the art. So there are some caveats to this one. I really want to only look at the artwork done by Josh Kirby and Paul Kidby. So Josh Kirby was the first artist for the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett, and sadly he passed away in 2001. And then the artwork was taken over by Paul Kidby. So yeah, they're going to be confusing Josh Kirby, Paul Kidby, but I'm super excited to kind of rank these because these are my favorite Discworld covers. So, hey guys, again, if you like the channel and you like Discworld content and you think by the end of the video I've earned your subscription, I appreciate it. Even like a like, it just helps as well too. So yeah, guys, you don't really need to read Discworld to kind of watch this video. Like, there's no kind of prior knowledge required. I'm not going to go any spoilers on the channel. I'm literally just looking at the artwork. So there's certain things I'm not going to be ranking. Okay, so Discworld has been published by a lot of publishing houses. It's been published by like HarperCollins, Golans, like Turtleback, Doubleday, Corgi, Penguin. So there's been a lot of publications, so I'm only doing the artwork that is just by Josh Kirby and Paul Kidby. So the ones I'm going to bring them up and I'm going to show you here. So I'm not going to be ranking like the books from like the early 2000s that were kind of like a reprint by Corgi or Penguin. I hate these covers. These are ugly, so I'm not going to be ranking these. I'm also not going to be ranking the new Penguin books. Here's the cover here for the Color of Magic. These are all going to be Color of Magic covers. I hate them. I hate these new covers. They just came out this year. They're doing it because Penguin Random House is, republishing or remaking all the Discworld audiobooks. I just hate them. They're so ugly. I think they don't capture the spirit of Discworld. I won't be looking at the HarperCollins ones either. I think these ones are okay. They're like acceptable. I could probably, do a ranking of these at the end of the day, but these aren't the artwork I care about. I just don't like them. And then like the nice copies of like Golans and Doubleday. I'm just not gonna be ranking these either. These are really nice, and I genuinely like these ones. And this actually might be like maybe I'll do a second video list of ranking those covers because those ones are legitimately nice. But I really just want to look at the artwork by Paul Kidby and Josh Kirby. So why don't we get on with this ranking now? All right, guys. So as you can see, I've put all the books in publication order here for the tier list. So I'm going to be ranking just like favorite artwork. I believe the first 26 books are by Josh Kirby, just because he was still alive at that time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the artwork here in the center of the screen. You guys can look at it, and then we're going to rank it. So the first one, like actually all the artwork I found, I managed to be really lucky, and I found a lot of like big blown up full artwork covers with none of the titles on it. So I kind of want to look at these. And the first one is The Color of Magic. I actually kind of like this one. I really like with the trunk in it. And I really actually like Josh Kirby's golems. I also think Paul Kidby does amazing golems too, but I really like this one. I think this one is like a solid B tier. The Color of Magic. I just like this artwork. It's fantastic. So, speaking of fantastic, let's move on to the Light Fantastic, the second book in the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett. Again, so these are all Josh Kirby. I'll let you know when we switch over to Paul Kidby. So, as you guys know, I've said this multiple times that the Light Fantastic is probably my favorite Discworld art. So this one's straight to S tier for me. I really like it. It's just such a fun. I don't know. This one just screams Discworld, the Light Fantastic. It just totally screams it. It's kind of whimsical. It's got everything you wanted, like barbarians, wizard on a flying trunk, a scantily clad female warrior. You got death floating around in the background. This one just and there's you see some of the characters who you see in the book. So I really like this one. It's an absolutely beautiful cover. And I just think the vibrancy of the blue really makes it pop. So, moving on to Equal Rights. I like Equal Rights cover. It's really nice. Like, I like the wizard in it. You see Granny Weatherax and Escarina Smith. She's kind of that little, little character there with the little broom. I really like this cover. And I would actually put this B tier, but above the Color of Magic. All right, so Mort's another one that's an absolute banger here. If you're going to bring it up and you'll see it, it's so cool. You see like Alfred, you see like all the characters who are in this book. I just really love it. I really love the horse, like Binky. Um, yeah, it's cool. This one's A tier, 100% A tier. All right, so moving on here, I'm gonna take my headphones out. I don't need these in, actually. Sorcery. Sorcery is an interesting one. I'm not a super fan, mainly just of the colors of this one. I find there's a lot of clashing going on. Don't really know what's going on. I haven't read this book, and I don't think actually a lot of these covers you don't really need to read them to, I think, enjoy the artwork for what it is. And yeah, I'm not a super fan of this one, this cover. And I think Sorcery is actually going to go down to C tier. Okay, Weird Sisters. This cover is just an absolute banger. I love everything kind of going on in this cover with the witches. I just the wizard. You see there's a ghost in it, as you can see with the ghost. Death's in it. Any kind of cover with death in it is one I'm going to like, and I think is going to be A tier for Weird Sisters. Do I like it more than Mort? Probably not. But that one's pretty high. So Pyramids. I recently read Pyramids actually, and I quite enjoyed the story. And there's a lot going on in this photo. They got a lot of homage to like the Trojan horse, and like some of the pyramids there in the back. Just a bit wacky, this one. I do like how Josh Kirby really tried to incorporate a lot of things going on. You can kind of tell like he read the book before making the artwork, and or I don't know if he actually read the book or just Terry Pratchett gave him some really good notes to kind of go off of. But yeah, I like this one. I like the characters you see in it. It's really funny. I like the kind of the intricacies that's kind of going on. So I think this is a solid B tier, like top of B. Guards. Let's move on. I really like the interpretation of Josh Kirby here on the dragon. I think he does. Well, there's actually two dragons if you look very closely. You can see there's a second little dragon here and on the artwork. Again, like I said, it just really kind of comes through that he has been reading the Discworld novels or is on top of them. But just really admiring the artwork. I think this one's pretty cool. I think there's just so much going on. Like I think with the Josh Kirby art, so much is going on. And I think this is it's an A tier artwork. It's just really cool. I think it's one of my favorites. Is it better than Weird Sisters? I think it's better than Weird Sisters, but it's not as good as Mort in my mind. So, okay, moving on. So, Eric. This one is actually quite weak in terms of cover. There has been an illustrated Discworld or an illustrated Eric that has come out. All the artwork in it is by Josh Kirby. I don't own it. I haven't seen it. But we're kind of just ranking it on this cover here. I really am not a super big fan of that one. And I think that one's probably going to be our first D tier with Eric. Because it's kind of like in the similar vein as, like the Light Fantastic, where you see the Rincewind the Wizard on the trunk, or on the luggage, flying. So it's just a bit weak, this one, I think. It's not the greatest. So moving pictures, this one is interesting. There's a lot going on in it too. The big centerfold is obviously the woman, like the female character sitting on top of the I believe that's his not golem, but a troll that she's sitting on. It doesn't really kind of convey a lot of the story to me. I think it's nice, but I don't think it's that great, to be honest. I think this one is probably a C tier, to be honest. But it's still nice. Like it's nice artwork, and it's just like, again, it's just sometimes there's a little too much going on where I think it just detracts from the whole. It's just everything's kind of screaming at you, and I don't think it really, kind of conveys its message in the end. So Reaper Man. This one is beautiful. This one is absolutely gorgeous. I recently got this one. Like this cover of this edition. I love it. It's probably one of my favorites. I actually think I'm going to put this up in S tier. It's not as good as Light Fantastic, but everything that's kind of conveyed here is great. Death is like a farmer, and you see, the hourglasses. It's really good. And I think just the whole ambiance of it with like the nights, the darker night sky, It's great. This is a fantastic Discworld cover. One of the best, hands down, one of the best. Okay, so Witches Abroad. So Witches Abroad is actually one of my favorite Discworld books of all time, right up there. But I don't really love this cover. It's, you kind of see the witch, you see the two witches in there, which I'm assuming are Granny Weatherwax, Nanny Ogg, and then McGrath Garlic. You can kind of see flying in over the top here. It's just a bit drab and grim. I know, like, with the setting of the book, it's set in like kind of like a swamp, but it's also set in like a beautiful kind of fantasy city. So I don't know. I don't really think this one actually kind of captures it. So I would say top of C for Witches Abroad. Yeah, just it's not my favorite. Okay, Small Gods. This one is awesome. I think just the eagle that he drew in this cover is simply fantastic. I really like this cover. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot of emotion. You see this character strapped to this big giant metal tortoise, and you see the eagle coming down. It's just there's a lot of symbolism going on. Like, again, if you've read the book, this artwork has a little bit more meaning, and you can kind of pull more from it. But I think just judging it on an art, it's great. This is, I think, A tier again, and probably right there, right above guards. I'm probably gonna go back through, like, once we've got them all on the sheet here, and kind of rank them a bit, like just double check. Am I happy with these? Okay, so Lords and Ladies. This one, I think this one's hard because there's so much going on, and there's like a lot of like perspective going on, stuff in the foreground, stuff in the background, that when you kind of look at the picture as a whole, and then the way they put it onto like the book, as you can see in the little mini picture, but then now I've got the big picture here, it has a hard time to kind of convey really what's going on. And I think this one's actually quite low, and I'm actually going to put this one in probably C tier and like bottom of C. I've read Lords and Ladies. I know kind of what's going on and what's supposed to be conveyed in this picture. I just think the artwork really doesn't sell it. There's just a little too much red, and I think it really kind of detracts from the whole, like the image as a whole. So yeah, so that is Lords and Ladies book 14. Men at Arms here. I really, really like this cover of Men at Arms. I just think it's one of those like hero pose. You see the whole gang. You see the kind of the enemy who you're facing in this book. It's great. This one is a top notch. I think this is actually another S tier and like right below Reaper Man. Beautiful cover, absolutely beautiful cover. It's just got so much. You have a dwarf on there. You have a female guard. You have your troll guard. I really like it. It captures a lot of the Discworld for me here in this one. It's great. This one's great. Okay, Soul Music. Soul Music is book 16. I really like this cover too. I think a lot of the death covers are really, really good. He really nailed the death covers. Josh Kirby did. I just think they really kind of pop. The skeletal motorcycle is just super cool. Like Soul Music may not be probably one of my least favorite Discworld books, but the cover is absolutely banger, and I actually think it's going into A tier because it's just so good. It's so good. Like, look at like the motorcycle and the night sky. See, this is the one where there is a lot of color palette, like very similar color palettes going on, but I don't think it really. You still kind of have an idea of what's going on. I just love it. I love seeing death on the motorcycle, the scythe in the background, and just flying out of Ankh-Morpork there. I think it's great. This is an absolutely gorgeous cover, and I think it belongs at the top of A. Okay, so Interesting Times. This cover, it's just a bit of it just means nothing to me. Looking at it, I'm like, I think with a lot of the covers that we've seen up till now, you can kind of like get the story from them, and really looking at this one, I'm like, this one's just kind of, again, a little bit generic, a little bit along those light fantastic, storyline or imagery. Again, not really conveying that full message. I think this one is a bit of a weaker cover, personally. And I'm probably going to put this one in D tier. And actually, do I like it more than Eric? No, I think I like the Eric one better than this one. So I think Interesting Times kind of goes right to the bottom, which is a bit of a shame. But I mean, I haven't read that book too. I don't know maybe if my opinions are going to be changing on or judging these books because I've read some of them. I've read some of them I haven't, and maybe I like the artwork for ones I've read a bit more because I could just get a bit more of the symbology. I'm trying to kind of come at this from more just an artwork, just kind of looking at the art, enjoying the art. And then I guess now we're going to move on to Masquerade, number 18. This one's great. This one's so good. Just because of I love the whole Phantom of the Opera thing. Like, I've read Masquerade, but even without, reading it, I just love everything that's going on. The wide mouth singers just like belting out the Phantom. I really like this one. I think this one goes top of like in A. Probably right there. I like it better than the Guards one. I don't like it better than Small Gods, but yeah, it's good. It's really good. Feet of Clay. This one's really cool. I really like how, you're the center of this picture is, a golem. Is like a golem you're going to meet within the story. I like how he kind of carries some of the iconography or the characters, from one cover to the other. I think there's a lot going on here, but I think he really nails this whole picture. Like I just like the kind of the spookiness, the alien nature of like the golem being front and center. You don't really know, if you were looking at this cover like for the first time without reading the book, you're like, "Ooh, it's a little bit creepy and ominous." So I think this one again is I think this is another A tier one, and I actually think it's probably right there above Masquerade. It's just really good. I really love this cover. I like just the fire in it. It's just, yeah, I really enjoy it. Okay, Hogfather. Hogfather's an easy S tier. I think it actually goes probably one of my favorite ones. I just love the idea of seeing pigs flying, and the pigs being reindeers. So like for Father Christmas. I just think this is really fun. It's just this again. It's a very there's you can just when you look at it, you know what's kind of going on. It's Death Santa Claus ish with flying pigs that are like. It's just I don't know. It's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Like the night sky. Maybe I'm partial to the night sky ones. I think it looks like, but this one's great. Hogfather, absolutely fantastic. So Jingo, Jingo is a bit, this one I'm not a fan of the Jingo cover. I know what it's trying to convey, and I think it does it okay, but I just don't really like it, to be honest. I think this one's probably C tier. This one's tough now. Where to put this? C tier for sure. Is it bottom of C? I don't think it's bottom of C. I think it does more work than Lords and Ladies. It is kind of conveying a story. And I think it does that better too than Moving Pictures and Sorcery. I might actually be top of C, to be honest. Jingo, now looking at it. Yeah. So let's move on now to The Last Continent. I love this one. I think this one's hilarious. Like, you see Rincewind the Wizard here, on the holding onto the neck of a kangaroo, being chased what looks like by like an ostrich or an emu, and there's the luggage. It's this one. This one just is hilarious. I think it's hilarious. I haven't read this one, and I think it's absolutely just fantastic. I think this is gonna go right top of B tier, to be honest, because it's super cool. I don't know. I'm partial to the kangaroo on it, and like the screaming emu that you can kind of see. I just think that is just absolutely hilarious. All right, so moving on with Carpe Jugulum. Again, this one I think this one suffers from the same thing as Lords and Ladies, where there's just too much of the same kind of color palette going on, where it kind of bleeds everything else out, and you don't really understand what's kind of going on. Like, I really have not a very clear image of like what this book is. So I think we're gonna put this one in C tier. All right, so where are we here? We're with The Fifth Elephant. I love this cover. I think this is actually another S tier cover, and right above Reaper Man. I don't know. I just like this beautiful red elephant falling from the sky, and like on top of these wolves. I think it's really cool. The symbolism here is just sweet. I really like this cover. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, and I think he did a fantastic job with the illustrations here. Okay, so moving on with The Truth. This is one of the, I guess, this is one of the second last book or last cover done by Josh Kirby. I like this one too. I think it really kind of conveys the idea of what's kind of going on with the printing press. I haven't read this one, so like I think it really actually does, kind of convey a lot of the story that's here in this one. I really like how he just draws his characters for the Discworld. They're a little bit like stumpy and grubby, and like they're, a little bit disproportionate, and I just kind of like that. Like it just screams like a Discworld to me. So I think this is B tier, and I want to say it's probably not as good as Pyramids, but it's nice. I think it's a nice one. So the last cover we got by Josh Kirby here is The Thief of Time. I'm not a fan of this one, actually, to be honest. I really don't care for it. I do like purple covers typically. Books with purple covers always kind of jump out to me. This one really doesn't. I think it just, I don't think it really kind of conveys the story. I don't think it really, I don't know. I don't like it. I really don't like it, to be honest. And I actually think I'm going to put it in D, but probably top of D. It's just not a favorite cover, to be honest. So that's it for all the Josh Kirby covers. And now I really want to look at the remaining books were then illustrated by Paul Kidby. So, Paul, he's done some fantastic artwork. I actually own the Imaginarium. It's a signed Discworld art book by Paul Kidby. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I actually have edition number, like I have number 2000 that is signed by him. He just does beautiful Discworld artwork. It is sad that we lost Josh Kirby, but Paul Kidby, I think, Terry Pratchett and his team picked an absolutely fantastic artist to take over for the Discworld. I think some of his illustrations are really poignant on the Discworld. Really, like, those are the characters in my mind. And because, with Josh Kirby's artwork, it's like I said, it's kind of like really fantasy, like throwing kind of the kitchen sink at you. Whereas I think, with Paul Kidby, it's a lot more introspective, really kind of shows you the characters and what they would kind of look like. And he's not really trying to tell the whole book in the cover. It seems like, whereas like with, Josh Kirby, it's like literally like everything in there to get it out. But I think with Paul Kidby's a little bit more reserved. So I really like this cover for The Last Hero. I like Cohen. Cohen's a fantastic character. He's one of my favorite characters in the Discworld. And this cover just screams everything. You got, this, rickety old barbarian with this crazy long beard and a cane and a sword. It's this fantastic cover, and this goes, I think, straight up to S tier. But do I like it more than these other ones? I think I like it more than Reaper Man and Men at Arms. It's just really cool. I just really like it. I think, and the artwork is just stunning, absolutely stunning. So, Amazing Maurice and His Educated Rodents. This one is probably one of the weaker ones, I think, by Josh Kirby. I am not super keen on it. I think this is more of probably a C tier one. But I think it's better than some of these I put up on here. I think it's probably about here in C tier, between Witches Abroad and Sorcery. It's cool, like it conveys the story. Like I haven't read this one. I'm actually reading this one this month. I will be. And like I said, it's kind of a play on the Pied Piper from, just looking at this. And I think it's good. I think it's good art. Night Watch. This is the 29th book in the Discworld. This artwork is actually a play on Rembrandt's artwork. His artwork is called Night Watch. This one's great. This one's probably, I want to say A tier. I think it's top of A, to be honest. This one is awesome. absolutely gorgeous. You know, it's conveying a lot here. Obviously, like I said, it's spoofing off of Rembrandt's Night Watch, but just, you know, the characters that are portrayed, the characters that you see, there's just little nuggets in this artwork that I think really adds so much to the overall, just the whole picture you're getting. I think once you've read the book and then you look at the artwork again too, it has even more meaning and you just pull more out of it. But I think just in terms of like how, you know, Night Watch is a very like significant book within the Discworld, and I think I'm really glad, you know, he did this fantastic cover for this book. So yeah, I love it. Okay, so We Free Men, number 30. This one I'm not super keen on. Like, you know, I've not read any of the Tiffany Aching ones, and maybe like I said, maybe I don't like it because I haven't read it, so I don't get any meaning from it. But I think in just terms of artwork, they look cool. Like they look cool, the Nat McFeagles here, but I think it's just, you know, they all kind of get lost in this, you know, malaise of purple and yellow, and I think this one's actually a D tier. Like I think this one probably right here. Yeah, We Free Men, not a great cover in my mind. Yeah, so moving on. So the Monstrous Regiment, I think it's good. I think this is a really good artwork. So you can really see the transition from Josh Kirby to Paul Kidby's trolls here, where they're vastly different. The trolls from the earlier books to, you know, the current books. I kind of like what this artwork is conveying here. I don't think it's one of the best ones, but I think it's, in terms of overall, I think this is a pretty solid B tier. But I actually think it's probably right here about near equal rights. It's good art. It's just gorgeous. I mainly really like the troll. Like you get to see the troll here and how he's kind of captured. I like the little vampire too. So yeah, again, this is cool. This is really cool. Hatful of Sky. Moving on now. This is book number 32 within the Discworld. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Maybe it's just like the Nat McFeagles. Like, I don't know. Maybe these little blue guys that there's just too much clashing kind of going on in this picture, and it doesn't really convey any of the story to me. It just means nothing. Like you don't even see the protagonist, which is Tiffany Aching. Like I think that's the issue too with like the We Free Men. You don't see Tiffany on it, and that's probably why I don't like it as much. So I think this one again is going to go here. Do I like it more than the We Free Men? No, I like it less. I think this one sucks. It's just not for me, to be honest. All right, so Going Postal. This cover is absolutely gorgeous. I really love it. Everything in it is just great. You know, you have like Moist von Lipwig on the front. So, I mean, I'm biased with this one. I'm super biased. This is my first Discworld novel. I just love this cover. It just screams Discworld to me, and I'm gonna put this up in S tier. Where do I want it though? Do I like it more than Men at Arms? Yes. Do I like it more than Reaper Man? Yes. Do I like it more than Last Hero? That's tough, because the Last Hero art is stunning. Tough. I think this is good. I think that's kind of good for it, to be honest. I like that the Last Hero artwork. Okay, so Thud. Yeah, getting on. Let's move on. Keep going. Thud. Wow, this artwork is cool. It's conveying so much with the trolls and the dwarves and like Samuel Vimes there. And like I said, I haven't read this one, but this one just does. It's just unbelievable artwork. I think for a cover where you know, you kind of get the feeling that it's chessmen on a board. I like that it's a city watch book. Yeah, it's this one. This cover is I think top of A, like better than Night Watch for sure. He really just nails these city watch books. They're just, the artwork is just gorgeous. Again here, so we're at the Wintersmith. Again, I just don't like these covers. I really don't just connect with them at all. And again, this one suffers, I think, from because it doesn't have Tiffany on it. It doesn't have the main character. Because sometimes I like to look at the covers And I'm like, oh, I want to see what this character looks like, so I can kind of like build a bit of headcanon. I know what the Nat McFeagles look like, but I don't know what Tiffany looks like. So again, I think this one is better than the other ones, like We Free Men and A Hat Full of Sky, but not much. It's not much better. Yeah, so making money. I think this one's okay. It's a bit of a weaker cover. It's again, as you can tell, it's the same series as kind of going postal. It's just there's a lot going on, but I don't think this artwork really kind of conveys what's kind of happening in the book. I haven't read this one again. I think it looks cool, but if you told me that this was a Discworld novel, I don't think it would jump off the shelf as a Discworld novel. To be honest, I think this one's a C tier, and I think it's. Ooh, is it better than Maurice? I don't think so. Yeah, I think it goes right there. It's okay. It's okay. All right, Unseen Academicals. Yeah, I like this one. I think because this is the first one to, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, there could be the librarian in some of some of the artwork by Josh Kirby, because there's so much going on in those art covers that I'm sure I could have missed an orangutan somewhere in there. But I really like this one. I think it's just cool to see all the wizards kind of imagined, because they're a funky crew, and I think you see Vetinari in here for the first time, and then so this one's high. I think this one is going to be A tier, and I think I like it. Oh no, I don't like it more than Mort. Oh, I think it's here, right here between Feet of Clay and Masquerade. It's good. I like it. Like I said, you can really see the difference in the art styles. Like, both scream Discworld, but they just scream Discworld in different ways. Where, Josh Kirby was definitely more the kind of the chaotic randomness that is Discworld. Whereas, like, I think with Paul Kidby, it's more of the, the kind of the ambiance, the feel of what these characters would really look like in this world. Okay, so now we're getting there. I Shall Wear Midnight. We finally see Tiffany, at least on these covers. Paul Kidby did go back and do some of the other covers, like with at least with Hat Full of Sky. I have seen alternate artwork for that done by him. I like that one a little bit better than the one here. But the tier list I made, I just had the original, like the one that first came out. So I like this one. I think it's good. I think it's only like C tier good. But where though? I think it's better than these early witches books like Lords and Ladies Carpe Jugulum. I don't think it's better than the moving pictures ones in Sorcery. I just like those. I mean, they're not my favorite, but I think they just scream more Discworld. I do like his interpretation of Granny Weatherwax in here. Not what I would picture in my mind, so I think it kind of does disrupt a little bit of that headcanon. But in terms of artwork going on, I think you can kind of figure out what's going on here with the with this artwork. All right, so moving on to Snuff. This one's cool. I don't think you can't. It's got the rule of cool on it, right? You got a guy smoke. We know it's Sam Vimes, but we got to. If you don't know anything about the Discworld, you just see a character smoking a cigar, sailing a sinking ship, with like the kind of the world crashing around him. There's a big wave. There's chickens. Like, there's a lot going on here. This is kind of a little bit more reminiscent of the old, more of the Josh Kirby style, and I really like it. But with that kind of crispness that is the Paul Kidby style. So I really like this one. I think this one is another A tier. I think it goes probably here. Snuff, yeah. I like it, Like I said, different styles, but, noticeably Discworld as well. Okay, so now we get to Raising Steam. This one, yeah, this one sucks. I really don't like this, the artwork for this one. I think it is actually a D tier. Where I think it's here. I don't know. Do I like it better than... Yeah, it's better than Wintersmith. but not much. It's about on par with Wintersmith. I don't think it's great. They're racing by on what looks like obviously a train. Again, like it just hasn't hit the same height as like the Going Postal, artwork. But yeah, it's still nice. It's still nice. All right, so the Shepherd's Crown. Okay, so this is the last Discworld book. I like the artwork. I really like, seeing, Tiffany done up as a witch. You kind of see like the Nat McFuse. So you actually see them at scale now, so you kind of see how big they really are compared to a normal human, which is Tiffany. It's kind of, this is nice artwork. It's kind of open and welcoming. I like it. I think this is more of like a B tier one, probably bottom of B to be honest, but it's good. It's really nice artwork. So let's go back to the tier list now. Have a look at my list. So Light Fantastic is still top. I just think it's great. It's just the coolest Discworld cover in my mind. It just screams Discworld, like more than kind of anything else. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I'm really happy with the S tier. I don't see anything that kind of jumps out as being better than the other. I think I kind of nailed that one. A tier. Yeah, these are great. Soul Music is good though. Do I want to? I think there might be some reordering here. I actually think Mort's gonna go to the top. Then this is, yeah, this looks right in my mind. I think this is good. It's got a nice little smattering of the Josh Kirby and the Paul Kidby. I'm clearly a little bit more leaning towards Josh Kirby in terms of favorite of the artwork, but just slightly. I just kind of like the absurdity of his artwork and just how just chaotic it is, and I think it really adds to the whole ambiance of the Discworld, and it just screams it for me. So there's a lot in A tier, but that's fine. There's always a lot in A tier, I think. B, I think I'm actually quite happy with that. We did a bit of shuffling in B. I actually think I like the Tiffany one better than the Color Magic. Yeah, I think that's the only move there. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm agreeing with myself. So, awesome. Okay, guys, honestly, like looking at these, like C and D, we really kind of put together, like I think we did that, quite well. So yeah, guys, this is my ranking of the Discworld covers. Like I said, I tried to kind of be a bit more objective, just looking at the artwork. Like, does it convey a meaning that I enjoy? And I think a lot of them do. I think, the Discworld is some of the best artwork. I was thinking of some of the worst covers, too, when I was talking about, the Penguin Random House covers and, like, the ones that were kind of released in the early... Some of them are just ugly. And, like, I talked about that earlier. But, yeah, guys, this is my list. This is my list of my favorite Discworld covers. Comment down below and let me know your favorite cover. What's your favorite cover and your least favorite Discworld cover? I guess it ended up being Interesting Times was my least favorite cover. I think really anything in the D tier, they're all kind of the same, to be honest. They're all like just not great. Yeah, like I'd love to know what you guys think is your least favorite cover and your favorite cover, because I would like to see how many people actually think the Light Fantastic is their favorite cover too. But anyways, guys, that's enough from me, and we'll see you on the next one. Cheers.